So while the bread is rising, I thought I would take Pyaar out for a little walk. It's been a while since she's been able to go outside and have a nice walk because it's been too cold. And I am a fair weather dog mom. So if it is too cold, I'm not going out. There's no such thing, at least for me so far, no such thing as too hot. So far. I don't live in Phoenix. I'm sure if I lived in Phoenix, that would be a thing. And of course, in the summertime, we do keep an eye on the concrete and asphalt temperatures, and she's got her booties, which is absolutely hilarious. So I thought I'd take you on a walk with us. So we will hit the trail, and I will talk to you as we go. Oh, one of the neighbors is having a garage sale. My husband went and he looked at it. He said they had a lot of ski stuff. I laughed. I said, do you really think that I'm going to go skiing? I've got two friends that like to ski and they keep saying, you should come with. I'm like, no, I'm not going to be that kind of cold on purpose and pay for it. And then I found out about a pre-ski. Lauren told me all about that. I think I can do that one. I can sit in the lodge and wait for them to come back and have their warm drinks for them. So beautiful here. To me, it's beautiful here. Starting our path. So I just met one of our neighbors. He's fairly new to the neighborhood. Owns a company where they pick up dog poop. So I may talk to him later, see if he wants to come on the channel and just tell me about his business. See if it helps him as I get a little more of a following in this area. Really so beautiful, and the sky is so blue. A few clouds over that way. And let's go ahead and get this girl out there for a walk. Little Miss Pyaar. So if anybody doesn't know, it's P-Y-A-A-R. It's a Hindi word meaning love, adoration, and endearment. One of my yoga studios in Florida helped me find that name. And it just seemed so fitting when she said it, and that stuck. Because Pyaar is a rescue. We got her from South Florida Lab Rescue. And when we went to see her, it was just love at first sight on everybody's part. And one of my husband's friends, Jeff and Jeffrey, was with us. And she just loved on him too. So we brought her home that day. And there's just been no looking back. She is a trained service dog. She would go to school for 7-8 months with Jeff. And she's certified through whatever certifying bodies they have to be through. I know she's registered with the AKC as a service dog. And she has to be retested every so often. So, and we had her trained through an organization called Paws for Liberty. P-A-W-S, the number 4, Liberty. And they are a nonprofit that offers free service dog training for veterans. Another one of my students, Dale, in South Florida. Well, she's not in South Florida anymore. She moved to Alabama. But Dale had turned me on because she and her wife had their dog trained through them. And it was great. It was a fantastic experience. And it's been good. So this path runs behind my neighborhood. We're up there, walk down that street, and now we're heading on this trail. Depending on how far we go, it's a mile, 2. There's a whole second section, but she's already got her little tongue out, thinking it's too hot for her. So she may not do the big walk. I call it the 1.0, the 2.0, and there's a 3.0. So she's, I thought that she would be my hiking dog when I got here. That is not the case. This little girl is not all about that. She really has been a blessing, as I believe most animals are for us. We're very lucky to be able to have them. She is trained to detect diabetes and if blood pressure gets too high. And she will alert my husband to that. And sometimes when we go out, she just kind of noses other people. And initially I thought, oh, they're not supposed to do that. They're trained service dogs. But then I started thinking about it, and maybe those people have those health problems. Because in the past she has detected it in others just before they had an attack. So I don't know how clear those mountains are from the camera. Like, they look very close here in person, but I don't know how far away they look. It's beautiful though. I do not believe those are mountains that I have hiked yet. The mountains I have hiked are that way a little more. And we will go hiking. The weather is starting to get warmer, so we will go hiking together. Yay! Yay us! So on this trail, this is a different neighborhood. This isn't my neighborhood. But I just love the fact that these houses have this view. That development over there is a gated community. There aren't a whole lot of those in our area, which I'm grateful for. And they have their golf course community, so that's their golf course. Hello. And everybody's really friendly around here. At least that's been my experience for the year. And all the cacti. It's one one species of cacti there. Another one here with these flat paddles. I think there was a golf ball that just flew over there. I'm not sure. So a few things that I've learned about my new town that I live in is that there aren't a whole lot of two-story buildings or multi-story buildings. Not a whole lot of two-story homes either, which is very nice. We do have a one-story house, and super great. We've had two-story houses. I've had a two-story or more. I had a third-floor walk-up when my son was a baby in Laurel, Maryland. But for the last, 33 years prior to moving here, it's always been a two-story home. So really nice to have everything on one floor. And that house is for sale. Anyway, I paused it because there was a lady with her small child walking, and I didn't want to intentionally put her child on video, especially without her knowledge or consent. Meta glasses are doing their thing. So I was saying, not a whole lot of two-story buildings, or multi-story buildings, period, which is, I think, nice. A little bridge, a golf course coming over the bridge. This is probably the nicest day we've had in about 2.5 months. And I know that's relative, because just like in South Florida, we have a lot of snowbirds here. My neighbor is a snowbird. They come from, I think it's Ohio. So she was very happy to leave all that snow and get here. Not happy to leave her family, but definitely happy to be out of that cold. And just taking in the views as we walk. I think there is a definite grade here. I don't know if you can tell, but we are going uphill right now. That was downhill and around the bend. So, not a mountain hike, but it is a little bit of an incline. We do get javelina, which I call spicy pigs. I make myself laugh every time I say that. I had somebody else on the path. So anyway, spicy pigs. They're not actually the pig family. They do kind of look like hogs, but not really. And supposedly they're very aggressive and quite mean. And we have coyotes and snakes and tarantulas. Am I selling you on the place? I will say, here in town, such as the town is, the javelinas and the coyotes are around. Knock wood, and there is no wood around, but knock wood. We have not had any issues with snakes. Nothing with the spiders. And 1 or 2 issues with scorpions. We do have scorpions here too. But we have a pest control service, and they treat for scorpions. So evidently they've been doing a good job. That bell kind of reminds me of the Liberty Bell. Different kind of cactus. I think that is a prickly pear, I believe. Those are the ones you can eat. Sometimes walking on this path, I've seen coyotes cross. I've had people coming the other way tell me that they saw a family of javelinas ahead, which is nice to know. I mean, she's always leashed, but I just hold her a little tighter as we go, just in case. So that is our little walk. What else can I tell you about my little town? A lot of mom and pop businesses. I tell my friends, the town has everything you need, but not everything you want. There's a Marshall's, there's a Ross, there's a Hobby Lobby, there's a Bath and Body Works, a Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart with the grocery attached. Target has a grocery in it as well. Main grocery stores here, Fry's, which is a Kroger brand, Safeway, something called Food City. And if you're one of my South Florida friends, Food City very much reminds me of some of the Spanish grocery stores. We step down from Presidente's. Come on, girl. And that's pretty much it. We're supposed to be getting a Sprouts in 2027. So that'll be interesting if that comes to fruition. Evidently, there are several businesses that say they're coming and then never come. There's a Dutch Brothers Coffee. We have Starbucks located inside of the Fry's grocery and inside of the Safeway grocery. I don't think there's a standalone Starbucks in town. What else do we have in town? There's Michael's, Planet Fitness. Now I'm just talking about the big chains. There's 2 Taco Bells, which I find to be hilarious because on almost every corner there is a independently owned taco restaurant. None of them are fancy. You are not going to get a restaurant with any kind of ambiance here. So, and the food is, for the most part, mediocre. There are a handful of restaurants that I would say the food is good. 1 or 2 where I'll say the food is really good. So it's a good thing that I like to cook. Cable here is Cox Cable. And Allo, A-L-L-O, is coming into the town. And that's probably their cable spools over there. One of my students works for Allo. She's kind of on the team that's coordinating the implementation. So they are new to the town. For major gas station chains, there's Speedway, Circle K, and the Circle K's here are a big deal. They are like the raceways in South Florida, because our Circle K's in South Florida are just like little 1 or 2 pump gas stations with a kind of crappy mini mart, but these are big deal gas stations. Yeah, those are the major ones. I think there's an Exxon in town. And what else do we have? We got a UPS store. But really, for the most part, a lot of mom and pop businesses, which is nice. Being as I am one of them, it is nice. We do try and support one another. I think it's the 2nd Saturday of every month. The mall has a small business Saturday. So small businesses can rent a table or a space to put a table and show their goods and their business. The mall is laughable, okay, compared to where I was anyway. Dillard's is the anchor. There is no other anchor. There is a movie theater in there. We don't have Regals here. I think it's Cinemax. Probably not. I don't know. It's like a theater brand I've not heard of. Let's see. Yeah, that's about it. That's the big thing in the mall. There is a K-Jeweler in the mall. There might be a Lids. I think there's a Lids. As far as another big store goes, there's a store called Maurice's. They are a chain. I don't think they're a chain on the East Coast. It's not women's clothes. And I don't know what the sound is like because I know that the wind is picked up out here. Yeah, don't have a whole lot. There are a couple of spaces in the mall. Somebody's getting their roof worked on. A couple of spaces in the mall that are interesting because they house multiple other small businesses inside. So maybe like a co-op of sorts. So each section is kind of owned by an individual, not owned, but stocked by an individual person. So that is pretty much it. There is a indoor play area in the mall, and a dance studio just moved into the mall. There is a dog groomer in the mall. There is a community theater in the mall. Traffic is coming. A community theater in the mall, I had said. So I'm sure that's kind of laughable when I said traffic and it was all of 3 cars, but there's not a whole lot of traffic in this town, which is nice. And again, I'm sure it is all relative and comparative, and coming from where I came from, traffic was insane. And it's funny because my husband and I will hear people here just bitch about the traffic. We're like, traffic? What traffic? We just don't see traffic. My studio is off the main drag, which is Fry Boulevard. And then that runs east and west, and then running north and south is 90 and 92. And 90 kind of curves around and drops you into 92, curves around. Going north, it'll curve around, go west a little bit, and then hooks into 90. And 90 will, if you take 90 north, it takes you to Interstate 10, which runs east and west. So we can take Interstate 10 all the way to California or all the way back to the East Coast. When my husband came, when he drove out, his GPS took him Interstate 10 the whole way. Mine took me a little wonky. I call my GPS the crazy bitch because she is always taking me in weird directions. Even my sister has laughed about that. Come on, little girl. Let's see. But it's a military town. The base is a mile that way. And there's a Navy flag, so whoever lives there is either active duty. I'm assuming retired, because there is no Navy base here. It is Army. That's not to say that other services can't be on an Army base. Alright, I paused it while we were on the busier road just because the traffic noise was kind of loud. So we're back into the hood, and you can see down there that blue thing, that's our outdoor kitchen. That is the backyard to my house. A lot of people are like, oh, you're going to give away where you live. I own my own business. My address, my home address, and my work address are a matter of public record. Anybody could look them up. So I'm not worried about that at this point. I am not that kind of popular that anybody's that interested. And I can be grateful for that as well. And my sister likes to say, you know, we have open carry here. And she likes to say that it's really safe because everybody knows that everybody is carrying and nobody wants to test that theory out. Although you will hear about plenty of nonsense in the news. But we're in a good safe space here. A lot of retired military, police, border patrol. Border Patrol is right across the street from us, retired military all around. And there is some active duty military as well. I like their sculpture, those are pretty. This guy does a nice job with his yard. Some sort of agave kind of plants, I believe. You may recall from another video or post that I am not the plant girly. I have this cactus in my backyard. That green one that's kind of wavy, I have that one. We bought that, had somebody else plant it, and it should take care of itself, hopefully. These are little barrel cactus. I don't know all of them. I only know a few. And, oh, anyway, I was going to say, heading back to the house, and almost lost my sweater. And we'll see where we're at with the rise on the bread, and maybe get dinner going. And then we'll bring you back in for the bread. But I wanted to just take you out for a little walk with me. So we'll check back in when it's time for the bread. Kind of spending Sunday afternoon with me.